A healthy coral reef can be compared to a bustling city, containing 1/4 of the ocean's resident species as its population. Coral provides structured dwellings for numerous organisms and a food source for thousands of fish and animal species. Even humans rely on coral reefs. Without them, entire fishing communities would be devastated, and humans would never have a chance at the life-saving medicines being developed from coral reef organisms. Reefs also protect millions of coastal homes from stormy waves and rising sea levels. Today, our 3 adventurers take a dive to visit one of the most vibrant coral reefs in Costa Rica. Join them in learning more about what this planet owes to a world hidden beneath the ocean, and find out what is causing some reefs around the world to look like this.
It's been a few years since we've traveled together. There's still so much yet to be discovered.
Human beings can be so cruel towards so many animals.
When you have the opportunity to look into their eyes, to know their stories.
Animals that are rescued here can be released into the wild again, where they're really meant to live. I hope people get inspired and treat animals with more care and respect.
Costa Rica is holding on to a cryptic secret, one that researchers have been trying to crack for decades, since the discovery of these nearly perfect stone spheres scattered around the country. Archaeologists know their creation dates back to long before Christopher Columbus came to the Americas, but they've had trouble deciphering much else. Who made them? What tools were used? What were the spheres used for? There are hundreds of them ranging in size, and unfortunately, almost all of them now adorn people's lawns, parks, and monuments, removed from any historical context. Because of this, we may never find out the story behind these spheres. One of the few places these artifacts have remained in their discovered location is Caño Island, just off Costa Rica's Pacific coast.
In
the Caño Island forest, there is an archaeological site, a great mystery, since we still don't know how these people, our ancestors, could sail the distance from where we were in Sierpe to this spot with such heavy stone spheres.
Researchers hope studying these stones in historically accurate places like this will one day unlock their secrets. In a similar way, Caño Island is one of the few places in Costa Rica that maintains some of its rich biodiversity. Dive teams report finding up to 22 species of coral here. The island is preserved as a national park with limited access to minimize human activity. It is hoped that people who visit will gain an interest in protecting rapidly declining coral reefs around the world, so that the reefs, unlike the stone spheres, are not ruined before scientists can learn from them. For their final adventure, Gabi, Casla and Caro are on their way to see the Caño Island coral reef. To get there, they must take a boat ride 19 kilometers from the Costa Rica mainland. Plenty of time to get excited and nervous.
The trip was a view of paradise.
So wonderful. This is such a pure water. You can see through the water with the sun. Wonderful. And I love speed, so it was amazing. You can see the water splashing. You can see the whole blue sky. Such a wonderful experience.
I survived the boat trip. I'm very glad I didn't get seasick. And I saw a turtle on the way, which was excellent. But I'm glad we're here now.
We're going to do some snorkeling. It's going to be my first time. I've done shark diving and crocodile diving, but I still have a little bit of difficulties to stay with my head under the water. I'm hoping I'm gonna stay calm to be able to appreciate the beautiful creatures that I might find under the water.
It's not our first time, but yes, in Costa Rica, so I don't know what to expect. More beautiful things, I guess.
I like snorkeling and diving, so I'm very much looking forward to seeing some fish and whatever is down there under the water.
Colourful fish are everywhere. Their spots and stripes either allow them to camouflage or warn predators away. But the coral itself is also a complex organism. Despite their stationary nature, corals are animals, not plants. They are made up of hundreds of thousands of tiny animals called polyps that band together. These structures are hard because each polyp secretes a limestone shell that sticks to the others. Coral grows whenever new polyp larvae land on the outer shells of living or dead polyps. The result? These beautiful formations.
It's quite an ideal place. As you can see, there are very exotic things for our three friends here to visit. The place we went to today, where we went snorkeling, is where that is allowed. But doing any kind of activity on the back of the island is not allowed, because it is reserved for research studies.
Researchers are continuing to make new discoveries. For a long time, they were baffled about the reason why corals of the same species could be different colors. The answer is in the algae, tiny plants that coat the inside of coral polyps and provide nutrients to supplement the food that polyps catch passing by. Like all plants, algae makes its own food from the sun. But too much sun can kill the algae, so corals develop the bright pigments as a shield to protect their beneficial algae. The colors pink and purple are especially effective, similar to the way human skin that is exposed to the sun produces more melanin. The views are spectacular, but Gabi is still feeling sick, a lasting effect of the rocking on the boat. The girls decide it's time to go ashore onto Canio Island to rest and talk about their experience so far.
Well, I took the boat trip quite well. I was very happy. And then we stopped to wait for everybody to get ready, and I got sick. I thought it would be better to be in the water, but with the snorkeling, I just couldn't take it. So I went back to the boat and just lie down, but the breakfast still wanted to go and feed the fish, so, well, that's what happened. And I'm very glad to be on solid ground right now.
In the beginning, I was super afraid. My stomach was this small. So I had to practice, I had to focus to make sure I wasn't going to freak out. So thank God I didn't. And when I put my head underwater for the first time, I see things that my naked eyes have never seen before. I believe life is about facing your fears, and I love that.
I was able to see a parrot fish that was amazing. Then a lot of fish together, they were swimming, and I tried to move with them just to follow them a little bit. And I see also a blue fish, I don't know the name, and a yellow one. Really beautiful, really beautiful.
Oh, such an amazing, beautiful fish. I think it was like distance from my arm, from my hand, and it was just so fantastic.
I'm very happy that the girls can enjoy the moment, and I saw like for a lot of fish for about 5 minutes, so I'm happy with that.
When I looked at some of the fish and some of the corals and some of the shapes and all the colors I saw there, I just had one thought. It could never ever had happened by chance. And I was so deeply touched by it.
It is true that every organism on a coral reef lives in delicate harmony with the rest. Harm to even one species of animal can transform an entire reef from this to this, a scene as tragic as an empty city. If humans aren't careful what we put into and take out of our oceans, we will be responsible for desolating these great underwater cities.
I was thinking there is so much of God's creativity that we can see. Under the sea, it is a different world, a really different world, and I'm really looking forward to see more of that.